Hey guys, Jim the Game Guru. So have you ever been in that mood where you were like, or maybe you were like, and then you wonder to yourself, man, I wish the Blue Bomber would be in a board game. Ding! Yes, here it is, Mega Man in a board game. And I had to pick up a bunch of expansions for it. Check it out, the Blue Bomber now in a board game. See if I can get this just right with the lighting so you can see kind of the, looks super, super cool. Let's flip it around the back side. It looks like you ended up confronting a lot of the robot villains that were in the video games. It just looks amazing, and I ended up, when I saw this on Amazon, I had to go and buy all of the expansions. Even if I had no idea if this game is good, some of the reviews were pretty positive. Actually, a lot of them were, and I just had to take a chance because this is, even if it sucks, it's a great collector's item. So here, this right here is a boss pack. Right there. This is supposed to add variation to the game. Because now a lot of board games now are kind of like... video games. They have like DLC. So whenever you buy the game, hey, 6 months down the road, here's a DLC. Basically, here's another expansion, here's another expansion, here's another expansion. So this here adds variation to the game with the card decks. This one here, because the game goes up to 6 players, this one right here will add 2 new villain characters and will also increase the game player count to 8, which is kind of cool. Really, really neat. I absolutely love that. And then I had to get this one too. This is probably the most, and I mean the most expensive expansion I have ever purchased for a board game or even a video game. This is the Proto Man. You can add Proto Man to the game. And it is just ridiculously expensive. This thing was $15. 15 bucks. You know what it has in it? The little statuette, the little meeple for the Proto Man to add to the game, and one card. One card that represents his abilities. That's it, $15. But I had to get it. So this is everything that I could find with the game. So we have the boss pack, the expansion that gives you Time Man and Oil Man in here, Proto Man, and then the base game that gives you 2 to 6 players, I believe, and then a bunch of villain, like you got Dr. Wily and a bunch of the villain robots. So yeah, absolutely, really, really, really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tear into this now, open up the boxes, show you the components, and hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's fun, but if not, I think this is an awesome collector's item, and I'm so glad I found this and picked this up. So I will see you on the other side. I'm gonna go ahead for the opening of each box. If you guys are new here, please subscribe. I do have a giveaway. It's on December 16th to win a Switch game or a board game. So let's go ahead and tear into it. All right, let's go ahead and open up each one of these beautiful expansions and the base game of Mega Man, the board game, and see what we have in there. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna tackle the base game first before we get into these other expansions. It just looks so cool. Whoa, nice sound of it coming out like that. All right, see what we have. So it looks like we have a manual. It's a pretty decent size looking manual. Not terribly huge, like 13 pages looks like. With kind of introduction and card anatomy page. Other components, minions, rules of the game, defeating minions, the challenge phase. Okay. So all of these cool looking And looks like it came from a Kickstarter. So Mega Man super fans from Kickstarter, a bunch of people on there. But yeah, this looks awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and manuals not too bad as far as legibility on there. So let's go ahead and look at some of these other components, cardboard components. I'm not sure what each one of these means. Looks like a lot of these are like damage markers, damage 2, damage 4. Oh, I guess these might be the small guys that you have to beat through the levels, which is kind of neat. You got Octopus Battery, Peng, Tackle Fire, Sabatol, and you have a bunch of these Mega Man kind of tokens right here. This aside. Here we got Sniper Joe. I'm sure we all remember him in the game. And with the shield, you have to wait till he puts a shield down before you can hit him. Watcher, Big Eye. That's neat. You got Met right here, the guy who lowers himself so you can't hit him with any shots until he raises his head. Got a few of those. And we got another Tackle Fire here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside too. Wow, I think this is the center of the board game. This is where you put all like the kind of figurines and stuff, and try to place each piece in the appropriate space. I don't know how the movement goes. I have to actually look at the rule book to see how things are placed, and there's nothing on the other side. It's all blank. Dr. Wily, and then I don't know what if that's one of the boss characters you have to try to defeat as well. I think I remember that one of the Mega Mans. He's that big dude. I think was it Mega Man 2? I can't remember which one it was. What do we got here? We got a bunch of. I'm guessing these are the stages for each one. So you have Iceman stage. You have Fireman stage. What else we got? We got Cutman. Cutman stage. Gutsman. I think a lot of these guys are from Mega Man, the first Mega Man. Yeah, Alec Man. Yeah, I remember all of these from the very first Mega Man game. And Bomb Man. So maybe that big guy there in the middle with the Dr. Wily could be from Mega Man 1 as well. I can't remember which Mega Man was. I know I fought him in one of them, where you have to jump and hit him in the eye. Here we've got life counters, it looks like. Usually these are for like life counters in most games. Or even like ability counters or something. But it looks like there's 2 wheels on them. And they go up pretty high. They go all the way up to... So we're going to bring this up closer a bit. They go all the way up to... Holy cow. They go up to 40. You may not be able to see that in the camera, but they go up to 40. And you got 2 of them, 1 on each side. Okay, so that's probably for each player. And there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Time Man and Oil Man expansion, which I'll open up soon here, is going to be the one that takes you from 6 players to 8 players. We've got a bunch of cards here. Oh wow, even this one's like foiled. Got a foil card in there. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I dig that. A whole bunch of cards. Oh my god, and they put them all in these little tiny packs, like tiny wrapped packs. And why is it? I have no idea. A ton of these. Let me open up some of these. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, we got the figurines in here too. Let's pull these figurines out. Okay, I see why they ended up having so many different cards wrapped up in separate kind of wraps. And it looks like a lot of these decks here are the same. And maybe they're the same because of you need 1 for each player. And so I went through each one of these 2, and they're the same exact. So it looks like you have cards that have like certain abilities or something. So here you got Fortified. Minions deal 1 less damage. And then there's a reverse side where minions deal +1 damage. So I'm not sure what causes the reverse sides to flip, but then you have like rapid fire. Each one of your whatever these little star rolls count as 2. Because in this game you have dice that actually have different kind of icons on the dice. And robot tactics, instead of like your normal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or whatever, we've got boost, energized, land on the edge. It's weird. So it looks like on this one, if you have like him, like a jumping icon on a die, and it says you may change one whatever star into a jump. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what else we got. You gain one, and so life energies. You gain one weapon energy, and it looks like the opposite, the reverse, is always something negative that affects you. Let's see what else we got. No limit, shortcut, speed run, and steady aim. And then you get quick reflexes and W tank. Interesting. These are like all abilities dealing with rolls. A lot of them do deal with the rolls. So I'm not going to go through the other one because these other ones are all the same. Every single one of these are all the same. So those I'll just leave in the wraps. This right here is the other deck that was a little different. It's got the hologram Mega Man that looks pretty wicked. I love the way that looks. And then this looks like it's like boss cards or something. You have Dr. Wily, his card with his ability. You've got Bomb Man with his ability. Cut Man with his abilities. Looks like they're all like this. I'm trying to hold this up in the right way. So you have like all these, like this, like you got Rolling Cutter, Thunder Beam for Elect Man. Firestorm for the Fireman. And it looks like it's kind of the same card. I'm just not sure why you have so many of them. Maybe it's one for each player. So there's Guts Man. Here's Ice Man. His Ice Slasher. Yeah. And then we have Mega Man cards. I guess one for each player. Really, really cool. Okay. So we've got, those are the cards. We got this. Those go all here. Let's show you guys the minis. There you go, Guts Man. I've never seen a game that has everything wrapped in every, like, it's been a while since I've opened up a board game that every little piece was wrapped. I had to open up each and every single one of these and put them on their little base. Elect Man, and here's some of the other ones: Cut Man, Dr. Wily, and Bomb, Fireman. Let's bring all these up. Really, really cool looking meeples. I love how that looks. There you go. That's neat. And then each one of these, in each player gets a Mega Man, which is pretty awesome. And they're literally wrapped like this. I mean, look at that. I had to go through that for each one of these and cut these open and stick them in. Every single one was wrapped like that. It was just nuts. What else we got in here? So looks like we got some kind of blue square token pieces. I guess these are markers. Maybe we put these on the cards to represent certain things. And then we have these challenge cards. Look how small they are. This is like the super small American style cards, which it just drives me nuts. There's a lot of Fantasy Flight games that use this size of cards. Blood Rage. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the game Blood Rage, which is really popular. I have that one too, and that one uses these little tiny cards, and it drives me nuts. And it looks like there's like different. Oh, these might be for the minions. Yeah, these are for the minions. So when you come across the minions, like Sniper Joe and some of those other guys, it has these cards that you use to interact with them somehow. But they're so tiny. Holy cow. Big Eye Field on this guy, whatever that one is. Okay. Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, it's all dealing with actions when you're encountering them. Got Bomb Man copy, Cut Man copy, whatever these are. Elect Man copy. Guts Man. Mega Man copy. There's so many of these tiny little... Holy cow. They're hard to hold in your hand with this big stack. Flame Gate. But yeah, so all these little tiny little cards, I'm not sure how they work. I'm sure they interact with some of those somehow. Let's put these back really quick. And here's the dice. Look at the dice. Really, really cool dice. If I can open these up. I love these dice. You get a bunch of them. I mean, look at that. Kind of like the icon, like a lot of the stuff you see in the video game. 8-bit video game, I should say. Dr. Wily's face. I don't see any meeple for Dr. Light in here. I guess maybe you don't... I don't know how he's involved in this game, if he is. Here's this little star thing. I can't remember what this is. But that's on a lot of the cards. Really, really cool. I love the dice. Love the cards and the counters and everything. It's pretty awesome. Let's put this aside now and go into some of these expansions really quick. Just flip through them. So here's the boss pack. Open up the boss pack. These are supposed to offer more variety to the game, I guess, in the boss decks, my guess. I mean, I don't even know if the bosses have decks, because I still have to read the rules. Let's cut these open. Here you go. Yep, you got some... it looks like it's a lot of ability cards. Like this is Alarm, Time's Up. And they're all dual-sided again. Negative side and positive side. Punctual. It's almost as if like when you're confronting people in 2v2 games sometimes, how it has one this way and one this way. So you can kind of see what the other person's going to do. But I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. E-Tank, Showtime. Yeah, it's a lot of ability cards. So I'm guessing that both the decks, yeah, the other deck in here too is the same way. It's additional abilities. So I'm not going to bother opening that up and going through there, but that's how the boss pack affects the game. So boss pack, more variety in the decks. Proto Man, this, like I said, this was the most expensive expansion ever. And it literally came with one meeple. There you go, Proto Man. And one card for him. That one stupid card. Let me go ahead and open this up real quick and show you what that looks like. Everything seems to be wrapped in its own plastic container. It's crazy. Yep, let's put him on his base. And he's only got one little nodule there for his base. Gonna go there. And there you go. And there's Proto Man right there. Very cool, Proto Man. I love that. I love it, but didn't like the price. There you go. So all these little figurines, and then they'll eventually be on the board somewhere. Now, the last thing, the very last thing is the Time Man and Oil Man expansion. This is supposed to take the game from 6 players to 8 players and introduce, obviously, 2 new bosses. And my guess is going to be a lot of the same cards. Yep, so you get additional cardboard tokens with Mega Man's face on it. Yep, 2 more bosses right here. There you go, Time Man and Oil Man. So those will get added to the other boss stages as well. You get 2 new counters for the new players. So for your 2 new players that are gonna be, so from players 7 and 8 are gonna get these. More counters that are the blue counters that go on the cards. Like I'm guessing they are supposed to be for keeping track of something on the boards on each card as far as the abilities, and so more of those nightmarish mini cards, challenge cards, additional challenge cards for the new players, and gee, more cards for the bosses. So just like the other bosses in the base game, they have their individual cards for each player. Here you go. You got more cards for these ones. And then they're throwing in the additional 2 cards for each of the other bosses. Like there's Iceman right there. But if I were to open these up, it would be the same way. They would be the same boss cards, just like I showed you earlier. 2 more decks for the additional players, and then 2 more Mega Man cards for the additional players. And then, and here we go. Let's go into the actual beautiful little meeples, or the miniatures, whatever you'd like to call them. All right, so 2 wrapped up Mega Man ones for the new players. And then now we get into the bosses, Time Man and Oil Man. Let's go ahead and open up these bad boys and see what they look like. So here's Time Man. Yeah, that looks pretty kick-ass. I love that. There's Time Man. Yeah, I like that. And then let's go to Oil Man. This has to be like a world record of like package openings on when I'm opening this. I mean, it's just crazy. Like it's been such a long time since I've had to open up a board game that every piece was wrapped in its own little plastic bag. It makes it hard to open things and show things when everything's wrapped. And there's Oil Man. So Oil Man, his little statuette. So there you go. So now you can see everybody here now on this. And I'm gonna try to bring this camera down a little bit. Let's go down here, and then there they all are. There they are. And they'll all be on the board somewhere on that big center board that I showed earlier. But you can see how they all look. And they're all like different sizes, so like even Guts Man is really huge. And I absolutely think that's super, super cool. Let me get out of light here. And then everyone's going to have their own Mega Man. Yep. Awesome. Okay. So those are pretty much all of the components in the game. So guys, I was gonna try to read the manual really fast and kind of do a simple kind of mock-up playthrough with 2 players to kind of go through this Mega Man game. But going through this yummy, delicious, beefy manual, it's not too beefy, it's like 13 pages. It is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, because it's going to take me a little while to read and really learn the rules of this game, because this game is very unique compared to other games. So there are some mechanics that are similar to other games, but then there's some other mechanics that are just not part of any other board game you'd see. So I'm not able to really read the instructions quickly to kind of get into this video. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up playing this with some of my friends and figuring out the game. And then after that, I can do another video where I can show you how it's actually played. So I'm gonna keep it strictly for an unboxing video in this case, but I will show you that the main board, that central board, it actually comes together like this, where it's the central board where Dr. Wily's at, and then there's places that you can navigate. Looks like you can navigate along this path to get to him. And then one of them is to, I think it's called the Yellow Devil, the one guy with the one eye. You have to fight him before you get to Dr. Wily. And then there's all these stages. See, all the stages for each of the bosses, kind of, the robot bosses kind of clips into this. And I'm assuming that you have to beat each one of these robots before you can actually enter the center port. The one guy I didn't show you from earlier in the video was Iceman. How dare me? I didn't show you Iceman. Jeez. He was actually lost in the shuffle, and when I was going through and cutting open each and every little meeple out of each bag that they were wrapped in, he was actually lost in the shuffle there. And then I found him later on, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I should just show people good old Iceman here and what he looks like. And he's cool. I like him. So yeah, and they kept this board game in mind for the expansions when they built it. And that's the way a lot of these board games are headed. Whenever they make them, they're like, oh, so kind of like video games, you know? How can we make this that we give a little bit of a base game, but then have expansions and be ready for the expansions? So if you notice here on the board, I have every single stage, every single boss, including the expansion ones, which are right here, Time and Oil. So if I never bought Time and Oil, if I never bought them at all, this right here would be blank. It would be blank. There'd be nothing there. It would just be from here down and around. So it shows you just like how a lot of developers now are making games, even like in video games or board games. They have expansions on the brain from the very get-go. I mean, it just shows you right here, right? Because buying that expansion completes this board all around, which kind of annoys me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it really kind of pisses me off a little bit. And it's only because I want that complete board game when I buy it. I don't want a partially complete buy the expansion board game or partially complete video game, but buy this DLC for the video game and it's complete. So that's a shame. But other than that, I love these figurines. And the game components look fantastic, and I can't wait to dig in here more and read the instruction manual more and learn how to play the game. And then I'll do another video of this is how you play Mega Man the board game. But right now it's too much to kind of do quickly, and I'll have to save that for a separate video. But either way, I am so happy I purchased this because look at it. I mean, look how beautiful it looks on the table. I mean, it's Mega Man with the stages and these bosses. I mean, it's a fantastic collector's item, even if the game absolutely sucks. But who knows? It could be the best game I ever played. I don't know. But I'm going to dig into it later and come up with another video. But other than that, that's it. I'm done. I did this whole unboxing with Mega Man. It looks fantastic. If you guys like this video, please please subscribe if you're new here. And I will catch you later. I'm Jim the Game Guru. See ya. And yeah, sorry about the ring light. I always get this damn ring light right here. Super annoying. But anyway, I'm out of here. See ya.